Hi, my name is Dennis Bertram. I'm going to demo for you today something I've been working on over the weekends. Basically, this is a system that allows photographers or anyone with like large amounts of assets to mint these assets, or in my case, images on the blockchain counterfactually as using MerkleMint. And MerkleMint is a project I created before, which actually allows you to counterfactually mint ERC-721 tokens. So it's very useful. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of a whole process that I've got going together right now. It's kind of hacky at the moment, so it's more to like inspire you and see where the idea of the project is going. But basically I'm going to be using WebFlow, which is something I found the past week, which is like a really easy way to make great looking websites. I'm not a great front end developer, and a lot of effort goes into like building great front ends. So I was trying to figure out how I can incorporate the blockchain into WebFlow to make a really powerful dynamic experience. So right now I have, you can see my website right here, Denison's blank site. This is sort of what it looks like. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you the workflow that I've been thinking about. So basically we're going to start by going over to Lightroom Classic. So I used to be a photographer, and these are some old images from a fashion show. I'm going to export them, and they are going to pop up in this folder over here. I'm going to run Ganesh, get my network running. Now I'm going to run the sort of like the main heart. It sort of happens in two parts. One is the creation of the Merkle tree. So this whole process, let me start it first. Right, so what's happening now is it's going to go into the folder I've selected, take all the images, hash all of them, put them into IPFS, put them into Amazon S3, construct a Merkle tree from it, create the proofs, all this information that we need necessary to mint the tokens later, to reconstitute it, and put them all into JSON objects, which you should see popping up over here in a second. Now we can sort of see the different files going, yeah, they're created, it's finished. I have my output JSON, which is a big file with sort of like all the information. The tree data is sort of like pruned down to just the tree data. Now what I need to do is I need to mint my tokens. So I'm going to run truffle exec on a contract, on a script here, mint token. And what I'm going to do actually to demonstrate something is that I'm minting only every other token. So you can see here that I'm minting only the even tokens, right? So the odd tokens have not been minted. And you see I have a contracts JSON and a project JSON file. These are also being stored right now. They're being stored in S3. In the future, it'll also be stored in IPFS. So what happens now? Well, I should be able to refresh this. Nothing happens. Let me go into here. Oh, you know what? Let me refresh WebFlow here. And then refresh this. Still nothing. WebFlow is refreshed. You see the images are now in WebFlow. They're connected through the, I have to publish the domain, publish the site. So now if I refresh, you'll see that I have all my images as ERC-721, counterfactual ERC-721 tokens. But there's information here, tokens, some of these tokens have already been minted as according to over here, right? So some of them are minted. Now what I want to do is I'm going to get my address. I'm going to send myself some funds here. So I'm going to use OpenZeppelin CLI to do this, because it's super easy to like just send, do anything you really need to do from the command line. So I'm going to send myself 12 ETH. 12 ETH is right there. Now I'm just going to refresh this again, because sometimes it doesn't work properly if I don't do a good refresh. But the idea is, so now I've created all these tokens, right? But only some of them have actually been minted onto the blockchain. So only some of them would be tradable, for example, in OpenSea, or usable in any other NFT platform. However, these other tokens are counterfactual tokens, right? Like I could mint them at any time, and we can prove what they would be and what their URI would be, and this set is discrete, right? Like I can only mint these tokens that I've sort of like put into this Merkle tree. So it's a way of sort of like creating these collections in advance. So for this one, I can do mint now. This will pop up. This might not work. I might have to do a lot of refreshing. Right, transaction failed. That's all right. I've been running into this. So let me do a hard refresh, and let me actually switch networks. For some reason, I have like a real trouble if I don't like switch the network, but I've been hacking all weekend on like jQuery, so I'm not too surprised. All right, so let's try now. I click go to Mint, confirm. Yes, transaction confirmed. Doesn't automatically refresh right now, but if I refresh it, you can see it's now minted. So I can go ahead and mint another one. You can watch down here in the Ganesh. So mint another one, confirm. There we have it, right? So another token has been minted right there, right? And then of course I could refresh and then I could mint another token if I wanted. Great. Once it works, you'll love that it works. So basically, again, the idea, the sort of like flow that I'm working on here is as a photographer or as an artist or anyone with like archives of information that you want to put into the blockchain, but is too necessarily expensive to mint everything right away. The idea is we can use counterfactual minting, where we can take our entire collection of data, we can put the information necessary, the Merkle tree, onto the chain so that we can mint these tokens whenever we need them. And here I'm just sort of showing you the flow of what I kind of sort of like see as the ideal workflow, where you can go from your typical archive management tools such as Adobe Lightroom, and then you can go from Adobe Lightroom to directly to the blockchain, have it directly minted, have it created, and it shows up in your in your website. So yeah, that is what I've been working on. MerkleMint demo. So if you have any questions, you can find me on Twitter. It's below. My Twitter is below. Thanks.